students, how are you? Hope this video will find you healthy and prosperous. This is Samreen Hashmi and the topic which we are going to discuss today is transpiration. Transpiration is the process in which plant body loses water through evaporation. Transpiration may occur through cuticle, that is protective layering present on the upper epidermis of the leaf, through stomata, that are specialized pores that are present in the lower epidermis of the leaf, and through lenticels. Lenticels are specific pores that are present in the stems of certain plants, and these pores are responsible for the gaseous exchange and transpiration or movement of water vapors through evaporation. So in order to understand the phenomenon of transpiration, first we will look at the diagram of internal structure of leaf. This is the diagram of internal structure of leaf. So let me discuss it in detail. First of all, the outermost protective covering is cuticle, that is present like this on the upper epidermis. Below the cuticle, and the function of this cuticle is to protect the plant from desiccation and also from injuries. Below the cuticle, layer of cells is called as upper epidermis, and below the epidermis there are mesophyll cells. There are two types of mesophyll cells: palisade mesophyll cells and spongy mesophyll cells. Now these mesophyll cells contain chloroplasts, and as we know that chloroplasts are the sites where photosynthesis takes place. Leaf also contains a vascular bundle that is composed of xylem and phloem. And here we will talk about xylem as we are discussing transpiration, that is the loss of water through evaporation or movement of water from the plant body to the exterior or air. The lowermost layer is called as lower epidermis, and lower epidermis is the layer that contains specific cells, specific pores that are called as stomata. These stomata are responsible for the transpiration. Mainly transpiration occurs through the stomata, that is why we call it stomatal transpiration. Moreover, we will discuss about the movement of water from the internal parts of the leaf through stomata. Stomata cover about 1 to 2% of leaf. But this percentage is still enough for the gaseous exchange and for the transpiration. We see that how water moves from the xylem towards the stomata and finally in the air. First of all, as we know that xylem is responsible for the conduction of water. So water is contained by the xylem tissue or the cells of the xylem here. Now this water is drawn by the mesophyll cells. Water enters from the xylem into the mesophyll cells. From the mesophyll cells, this water moves along the cell walls of the mesophyll cells, forming a film of water like this. First of all, water enters from xylem into mesophyll cells, then it moves along the cell walls of the mesophyll cells, forming a water film like this. Finally, it enters into the stomata, that are pores, and from the stomata it moves outside or diffuses out into the air. And this is how transpiration occurs. Now, in order to understand that how stomata helps in transpiration, or how stomata are responsible for the transpiration to occur, we will have to understand the structure of stomata. This is the structure of a turgid stomata. Each stomata consists of two guard cells like this, and a pore that is called as stoma like this. Now when water enters into these guard cells become turgid and they assume the bean-like shape. Both these guard cells are attached at their ends with each other, and when they become turgid, they attain a bean-like structure like this. And as a result, the pore that is called as stoma gets open. But when water is drawn from the guard cells, or when water leaves the guard cell, they become flaccid like this, and as a result stoma encloses. Stoma gets closed. What is the reason behind the opening and closing of stomata? As stomata are responsible for the transpiration or loss of water, so very important factor in transpiration is the closing and opening of stomata. Stomata remain open during daytime, but they are closed during nighttime. But in certain plants, stomata remain open during nighttime. There are certain studies that reveal the opening and closing of these stomata. According to the first study, as we know that during daytime photosynthesis is occurring in the leaves, So the concentration of solute, that is mainly glucose, is high in the guard cells, and as a result of which solution in the guard cells is hypertonic. Due to this hypertonic solution, the water enters from the lower epidermis and the surrounding cells into the guard cells, as a result of which the guard cells become turgid due to the entrance of water. When water enters into the guard cells, due to the turgidity of the guard cells, the stoma becomes opened, and as a result of which the transpiration occurs. In the night time, as we know that there is no photosynthesis, so the solute concentration in the guard cells decreases, as a result of which the solution in the guard cells become hypertonic, and due to the hypertonic solution, the water is drawn from the guard cells, as a result of which the guard cells become flaccid and the stomata are closed. So in the night time, there is no transpiration. Another study reveals that the light is responsible for the transpiration, as the light is responsible for the closing and opening of guard cells or stomata. According to this study, light causes the movement of potassium ions from the epidermal cells into the guard cells. Due to this movement of potassium ions from the epidermal cells into guard cells causes the solution of guard cells to become hypertonic. Due to this hypertonic solution, the water moves from the surrounding epidermal cells into the guard cells, and as a result of which guard cells become turgid, and due to this turgidity, stomata are opened. In the night time, as there is no light, so these potassium ions move from guard cells back to the epidermal cells, as a result of which the solution present in the guard cells becomes hypotonic, and to this condition the water is also drawn from the guard cells, as a result of which the guard cells become flaccid and the stomata are closed. Transpiration is also called as a necessary evil. It is so because potentially transpiration can be harmful, because 90% of water that a plant absorbs is lost through transpiration. But it is also necessary, and the significance of transpiration can be understood by this, that transpiration is responsible for creating a pulling force that is responsible for the movement of water and salts from the roots to the upper parts of the plants, especially in the tall plants. This pulling force is called as transpirational pull, and it's very important and significant for the movement of water and minerals from the roots to the aerial parts of the plant. The second important function of transpiration is creating the cooling effect in the plants. When water evaporates from the plant surface, it causes the cooling effect. The third most important function of transpiration is this, that it provides the wet surface, and through the wet surface, the efficient gaseous exchange can take place. So these were certain points regarding the transpiration in plants. Hope this video will be informative for you. Please like and subscribe the video. Thank you so much.